Hey everyone, my name is Angel Sanchez Montes, and today I will be talking about my high school experience. I can't believe I'm saying these words. My high school experience was definitely a rough one, full of hardships, falling outs, and various other details that I have forgotten. Despite all of this, I still go on. I'm using Minecraft as a metaphor for my high school experience. Like the very building blocks that I use for the building, I myself build myself up through the school year. I knew going to high school would not have been as close to how it was in middle school, but I think I was proven wrong. It was very easy for me at the beginning. I was that scholar with the good grades but with the bad habits. Things were nice and dandy until I decided to get emotional over some people. I let myself fall into a spiral of depression, and it was very noticeable among my friends. This caused me to lose myself, as long with other friends groups, and this person and that person, even my own group. Eventually COVID hit. I was excited to have a 3-week vacation from school, not having to think about people for the most part. I could be in my own space. But that wasn't the case. I now had to do work online, and this is the moment where my scholarly activities would fall. My grades took a not massive hit per se, but they still lowered. During this period, I had some controversial opinions, which caused me to get cast out from most people at the school. I would say I'm better informed today. Pretty much, I got threats and called various wonderful labels and names, which were definitely nice and totally not insults at all. And then there was the next semester. In 10th grade, I did absolutely zero work. I would slack off all day, not show up on time, and even play video games when I was supposed to do work. This caused all of my grades to be the lowest they possibly could in the entire semester, my maximum grade being a B. As I didn't even have for an A in advisory, literally the easiest class. So the typical 10th grade Zoom day would be me waking up from like 8 to 9, or I don't know, sometime later. I forgot the time schedule we were on, but it would be late. I would be late for class. Then I would turn on Zoom after eating breakfast, or sometimes I would be eating breakfast during Zoom and not doing the work. And just do absolutely nothing for the rest of the day. The only plus I saw this year, the only plus I saw this year was the Alienware spaceship laptop, which I'm using to make this video. Some of you probably saw it if you're from Luskin, and you saw me on Monday. You probably saw the giant computer if you went to Mr. Device's room, which I later upgraded the RAM on it, and it's a pretty sweet computer now. Despite the graphics card being way outdated, it can still play all the games that I want. I'm going on a tangent by this, but I upgraded to 32 RAM for those that were interested. But when it wasn't upgraded, it at least got the work done. This indeed was the worst year for me, definitely. I totally learned the hard way how much of an in-person learner I am, since I could have done way better with on-hand learning, in-person learning. On-hand, same difference. Also the fact that this year screwed up my GPA for UCs, I believe. It was a 2.9. That's super low. If this year would not have occurred, I would have definitely still kept up the same habits I did in 9th grade. Woohoo! There was news. We're back at in-person learning for 11th grade. Time to make it up, I said. I kinda did, but not really. The bad habits I picked up from the online year were devastating for me. I woke up late and barely made it on time. And at some point, I got a penny board between that time, I think. And that's the thing I take to school. Yeah, it was pretty easy to get to there. Until I think it was either the first or second semester of my school year that I came tardy for the very first time. From there, it was a downhill spiral. I started arriving late at school every single day without fail. It would be ranging from like 1 to maybe 10 minutes after the bell rang. The second bell. And I was surprised I even got into some field trips most of the time. However, I did start taking leaps toward what I wanted to do, which was computer science. But, I kind of joined late, but I was encouraged by Freddie and Miss Rivas, best teacher, I took computer science principles, AP US history, and Spanish and AP Spanish. I think I did pretty well in those classes, not relatively well, because I was able to do the work. It was pretty easy. I took Spanish. I got extremely lazy in that class. I think that's where all my bad habits went into. And yep, after the second semester, oh wait, actually no, my AP CSP, AP Computer Science Principles, the grade was really bad, but that's because I didn't do the AP daily videos, which are 50% of my grade. I did not want to do those. I copied off of someone else to get all those notes. Mr. Iwas, if you're watching this somehow, I'm sorry, I did not want to do them. Once we were on break after the semester, that my effort just dipped once more. It was like senioritis hit me, like pre-12th grade. Though, because like my bad habits, they pretty much just festered on. They grew over the break, back to where I was in 10th grade. But this was also partly because it was getting to be 3 AP classes. Just waiting up for the test was very difficult for me. But I treaded on, and I got slightly lower grades than I did first semester. I did pass the 2 exams I wanted to, though, computer science and Spanish. In computer science, I got a 4 on it, so I'm very happy. For my exam for the computer science, I ended up redoing an app that I did, the very first app that we did. And if anyone is interested, I have it in my YouTube. Yeah, but now, after this 11th grade year, I really wanted to make a comeback. Finally, 12th grade. The year it all ends. The year most of us will never see each other again. In the words of Mr. President himself during his speech in 3rd period. What does it mean to be a senior? Well, to me, it means making sure your future is secure. That's exactly what I intended to do this year. I took 5 AP classes this year: AP Statistics, AP Calculus, AP Biology, AP Government, finally, Mr. Devices, the other best teachers, AP Literature. This year would be my most stressing, most definitely, but it would be a way to force myself to correct most of my behavior. This year, I definitely know it stressed me out because I grew gray hair. However, the 2 supposed hardest classes for me, obviously I probably didn't pass the exams, but it was AP Bio and AP Lit. Those were actually like the easiest classes for me, because Miss Coletta and Mr. Novice were able to provide the curriculum at such a great, they did it so well, Not Miss Marriage though. We didn't do anything for her, but it was very digestible, the curriculum. I could comprehend it really easily, and it would stick in my mind. AP Calculus was definitely the fun class I had, surprisingly, right? But it grew exponentially harder as time went on for me. I think I really reached my limit with math in that part. Also because Mr. Cho wasn't able to finish the curriculum that was planned out, but I think he did do a very good job of teaching us in a way that it could stick to our brains even if we don't pass the test, which I know I didn't. I don't think most people passed. AP Stats is definitely not one that you want to underestimate. The class moved super fast, super fast. Not as fast as Bio, but still really fast. You would get confused on many processes that you would do in the calculator, so since most of the math was on the calculator. But I think if you got into the groove of it, if you got into that little sweet spot where you move fast but still at your own pace, I think you would be really good at that class. AP Lit, definitely an experience for us this year. I think I can speak for everybody when I say it was really loud, and the teacher for the most part, Miss Ryan, she didn't really teach us that much. She definitely didn't teach us AP material. Although this was the case, it was definitely not an excuse to treat her with disrespect. People were extremely rude. She was a new teacher, not a substitute. And people just kept on talking to her, they talked back, they disrespected her completely, honestly. But it's, for the most part, I blame some of the students, but this doesn't mean she's free of fault, though. She signed up for AP, so she should know what it's like. No excuse to teach us anything that's not AP, or something that would be beneficial for AP. Eventually, in the second semester, we got the long-anticipated, long-awaited Mr. Narvaez, soon to be assistant teacher, I think it was, or an IT, I forgot. Professor, assistant principal, not principal, assistant professor, I don't know. He came in there, he had a mission, he carried out perfectly. A master of his craft, a true poet himself. He definitely helped me through the second semester. Even though we were cramming like the whole curriculum in one semester, he was still able to do it, and I was able to keep a high grade in his class the whole year. Like both semesters, all with an A. Well, the whole semester, all with an A. Bless Me Ultima was definitely my favorite book, mainly because we went so deep into it. I really liked Antonio's challenges through the book. I feel seeing Antonio just struggle through his religious beliefs and his own family struggles really brought me closer to my own religion. Also, Mr. Narvaez really helped me out when it came to the AP tests. Oh man, that was an experience. Having to write some thesis statements, bloody paragraphs, all within minutes, just through that one last part of the AP test. Miss Coletta, she definitely helped us out a lot when it came to the AP bio exam. I think I want to believe I got at least a 2 on that, but it was very difficult. AP stats, that thing was so difficult, especially, that thing was unexpectedly difficult. I didn't finish that one. That was the only exam I did not finish. Wait, no. AP Bio was the one that I didn't finish. AP Stats did finish, barely finished. But it's all done, and I'm ready to get out of here. Once again, I ask myself writing this script at 10 p.m., recording at 10:43 p.m. What does it mean to be a senior? To me, reflecting in the time that I've been listening back to the audio, making sure it's all well and nice, presentable, is that it's one where you can make a future that you can tread with confidence. One, even if you fall, you can still go on, not even knowing like what your future is. I know I will make it, even if I get rejected from the school that had the major that I wanted to. I will make the best that I can. I will. At Cal State LA, I will take you down. I will graduate with my computer science degree. I will make my future happen, even if I don't know what it is or what it has in store for me. Also, I have a girlfriend now. Her name is Jocelyn. If you're watching this, hi girl.
Thank you everybody very much for watching this video. It was a huge slog to get through. It was initially planned to be like finished and in the middle of editing and like this whole week, but I had to do it overnight and today, June 5th. And so it was this project. It had a lot of complications such as time constraints and my Mr. Architect hitting it on. Thank you very much, Mr. Architect. Yep. Okay. Now I'm gonna pass it to Mr. Architect, otherwise known as Mr. President.
So this is the architect, or aka the president. For sure, what my compatriot did for the server 2, it was kind of a hard time to work with. Luckily, yesterday I had the time to, fortunately, to make the building with him. It was kind of a long restraint, but luckily we managed to persevere and become more resilient into building it. And much of it, we ended up getting success. Hopefully this final that you see on recording and voiceover helps a lot portray the image of what type of hard work we did over the weekend, or like I say, mostly the amount of work that everyone contributed. Thank you. All right.
Once again, I want to thank everyone for sticking through to the end. I stream whenever I'm free on my Twitch at twitch.tv/pc_live. Please check it out whenever I'm free. Maybe drop a little donation, like once in a while, like 1 or 2 bits. It doesn't really matter. Everything really helps. Also, my YouTube with the same name. I will see you all never. Bye.